Good afternoon. Welcome to my podcast. Today we're going to be discussing cloud robotics. This is for Info 315. I will be the host of your show, Joe Sweeney. Let's get it rolling. So the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about robots and cloud robotics is the movie I, Robot featuring Will Smith. This is actually one of my favorite movies where robots essentially become too smart for their own good and become a threat to the human society. So some of the questions we can ask are, is this something that can really happen? What happens if robots become smarter than humans? Do you think robots in general are beneficial? Or are they kind of a threat to society, maybe stealing our jobs in a sense? These are just some of the questions we might ask. Let's get into the definition. What is cloud robotics? Cloud robotics is the use of cloud computing infrastructure that brings communication, data storage, and computing power of the cloud beyond the limitation of a robot's onboard hardware. So simply put, it's using existing cloud infrastructure in robotics. Instead of having a robot that is a single use or single programmed robot, we can now put different data, different applications into a cloud that can be shared to these robots. Just the same way we use our phones today. A brief, quick history on cloud robotics. The term cloud robotics was founded by a Google researcher named James Kuffner in 2010. The field of cloud robotics is where robotics rely on the internet to implement functions, which allows for a shared brain, no single-use system. Like I had said earlier, this is all that data, application, everything that's in a cloud is now available for a robot to use. This results in a smarter and cheaper robot by connecting to the cloud. Cloud computing service model and where cloud robotics falls into place. There are three primary service models in cloud computing, each fulfilling a specific role in the cloud infrastructure. Those three primary service models are infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. And as you can see in the image on the right, it shows you your network architects, then your application developers, and at the end, your end users. And you can see who has more control, who has less control. At your infrastructure level, this is where your networks are offered so that robots may function. Your platform level is for development purposes, programming tools, and services for the robot applications. And then lastly, your software level completes the cloud stack with applications the robots may use. The challenges and limitations of cloud robotics. Like any technology we use today, there will always be some pros and cons, and you'll always have some limitations. Some technical challenges include delays, lack of internet bandwidth, internet connection stability, transmitting sensitive data, cyber attacks, and data privacy. Like comparing your phone, that the cloud we use on our phone is always subject to data leaks, cyber attacks. You're going to have your sensitive data on there, passwords. This is just something that's always going to be at risk anytime you're using cloud applications. Cloud robotics in the future. I think cloud robotics as a whole has a promising future. It gives robots access to data required to complete complicated tasks, and it has huge potential in many different industries, including healthcare, manufacturing, and agriculture. I personally think cloud robotics is going to be big, especially in the healthcare industry. In the future, we may even just see, robots doing surgeries completely, and you'll be able to just program these robots by uploading data to a cloud instead of single-use program robots, which again results in a smarter, cheaper robot. In conclusion, it will be very interesting to see if I'm right and what the future holds in terms of cloud robotics. Like all technology, you'll always have your pros and cons, And at some point down the future, like the movies, we might see humans and robots coexist. Hopefully, we don't end up like Will Smith and iRobot.